Let's talk about the global release, and I don't want to waste your time. We don't have a global release date yet. So this video is more about speculating a bit about the date, checking about what we know so far. Do we have any indications that could lead us to a potential release date or at least a release time frame? So what we know so far is that the game is supposed to launch this year. We also know that we went through 2 global tests. If I recall correctly, we had the first one in May and then second one throughout the month of July. Many speculated the release date to be beginning of September, especially because the classes in Hogwarts starts on September 1st. Another hot date is September 9th, since this was the date the game released in Asia. As romantic as it would have been to have a release date in this time frame, it's likely that it won't happen anymore, given that we are already in the first week of September. So what other dates do we have available for the global release? Well, if we look at the Harry Potter universe, the next mention-worthy events are Halloween and the 1st of November, where Hagrid rescued the baby Harry Potter after Lord Voldemort murdered the parents. Overall, I wasn't able to find any event that would justify a release. But what if there's no link to the Harry Potter universe? We could look at historical releases of games published by NetEase. The releases between September and December look like the following. We have Badlanders and Lost Light, who both released between the 20th and the 26th of October. Then we have Knives Out that released on the 17th of November 2017. Last but not least, we have Bloodstained that released on the 2nd of December. I've also added Diablo Immortal to the list, even though it released before September. But that's because I wanted to highlight that Diablo Immortal was announced 1 month before the release. So it's safe to say that, or at least that's my opinion, that they will not release Harry Potter just on any given date without announcing it before. I expect them to announce Harry Potter at least 2 weeks prior to the release. Another aspect to consider is the state of the game. How ready is it for global release? I've only played the technical beta in July. The smartphone version worked almost perfectly. The PC client still had some minor glitches with the UI and at times some bugs. The most curious one was when clicking on a specific part of the battlefield would open up my deck selection mid-fight. Definitely not something you want to experience when wielding your wand against another player. But all considered, I do believe that the game is technically speaking ready to please the global audience. Where I have more concerns is the monetization of the game. It doesn't seem to take advantage of features that games like Clash Royale introduce, such as items that can be used to fill the remaining cards you need to reach the next level, or items to level up cards without spending gold. And I think monetization is at least one of the reasons we don't have a global release yet. If NetEase learned from previous releases, look at Diablo Immortal for reference, they should know that nailing the monetization aspect will ensure player base is retained even after the initial hype and buzz. At the end of the day, we can only guess for a release date. My guess is the 22nd October 2022. It just sounds nice. And it gives the developers time enough to fine-tune the last things before the global release. I expect an announcement in the next 2 to 6 weeks. If you wish to keep up to date with Harry Potter Magic Awakened, please consider subscribing and make sure to watch my video where I play one of the top 100 decks. Until then, catch you in the next one.